So many times I thought you'd leave me. Broken inside, I feel I've lost my sanity. I don't believe in happy endings. Bottle my pride and hope you'd still love me in the end. Didn't want to leave your arms, but I feel like you won. You left my soul to starve. I don't believe I'm the one. Ooh, I can't show that I'm hurting. You can't know that I'm worried. I gave up in a hurry just to know I'm safe. Love is a fire and I'm burning.
Hey guys, welcome back. So it's supposed to start raining, so we're going to jump right into this video. I'm going to get Kimanie caught, and what we're doing today is we're going to give her the rest of the dewormer from 2 weeks ago. I just got off the phone with the vet, and just to make sure she's all cleared of any parasites and healthy as can be, we are going to give her the rest of that dewormer. I already spoke with them, made sure it was good, because I don't want to override her system. Luke's taking a nap, so is she. And there's going to be a couple other things we're doing. We're going to be playing with her ears, playing with her mouth, picking up her feet. But the two main focuses that we're going to be doing today are desensitizing her to the whip, smacking it on the ground like I do with Book. And it's so muddy out here. Hopefully this goes well and we're not being drug everywhere. Desensitizing her to the loud cracks of the whip, yielding her hindquarters. So, as I talked about in a previous video, when this one runs past me when leading her, I tap the chest or the opposite shoulder to stop her from going forward. And then I get her side by side with me again and we go off again. Well, she's starting to turn her hip to me and keep her next to me like she's going to kick. And she hasn't actually kicked, and she hasn't kicked out, but she has lifted her leg like, I dare you to get after me. So we're going to be teaching desensitizing. Sorry, I thought I saw something on the hill. I'm like a freaking squirrel. I get so distracted. We're going to be desensitizing, deworming, picking up the feet, playing with the ears, playing with the mouth, and teaching to yield the hindquarters. Also, I took a video of Kimanie and Boog a couple hours ago right before it started to rain. And I'm going to insert that now while I catch her. And then I'll see you when I have her caught. And we'll get into the video. But doesn't she look so good in braids? And then here's Boog. Here's Boog a bit. Alright, let's get started. So I'm not sure what they're doing. But it's supposed to rain here in a half hour, so I'm going to wait until that goes and passes so we can get today's video. Ooh, she looks so good with her braids. Not sure what these two are doing. But I figured I would add this into the video. Boog's looking good. I mean, for a horse that's not worked very often because of the weather, he has got some muscles and some shine. Kimanie is not that far yet, and she's been dewormed. So I'm actually going to call the vet and ask him if I can use the rest of the wormer and just give it to her so it doesn't go to waste. God, she looks good next time. Ignore the dirty window. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're going to start off with deworming her. Since she's already had it done, I'm not going to work as much as I did last time on it. So here you'll see me holding her head up because she did kind of ball it up at the top of her mouth like she was going to spit it out. And then we're going to go on to leading before we do anything else. Make sure she's still paying attention and understanding everything I'm asking her to do. So she's leading pretty nicely. I do have to kind of tap on her once or twice, but I mean, it's way better than it used to be. And she's getting better of the cue of me pointing my arm out to kind of speed up and keep up with me. So the rest of her leading, I think, is going to come with time, with desensitizing and lunging and yielding her butt and moving her forequarters and just the basics of groundwork. I think I got her leading as good as I can, and everything else she needs to just kind of figure out. Sorry if you can hear the digging in the background. It's my dog. So here I'm just kind of tapping the ground lightly. She goes to move. I just ask her for her face, and she just tends to stand still this time. Pretty good. I swear he's doing this just to annoy me. She's doing pretty good on this side. I'm just lightly tapping the ground. Here I'm doing just tons of desensitizing. Getting louder, asking her to back up, then come forward right after. Spanking the ground harder. So now I'm spanking it a little louder, and she's a little worried, so she moves. So I just keep going and stay with her until she stands, and then I flog her all over on her legs, her face, her neck, her butt, her back, everywhere. And I just stick with her until she stands still. And then I go over and flog everywhere, and ask her to stay with me. Riley! Do her face. I'm just gonna stay with her. I obviously scared the poop out of her. Bring her forward. I don't want her learning that it's okay to brace. So every time there's tension on the line, I ask her to come forward, or I ask her to back up off of it. Here I'm going to ask her for the first time to yield her butt. So I'm going to tip her nose. I'm going to rub all over her legs, her chest, her boobs, everywhere. So that if she ever gets a tick under her stomach and between her boobs or anything, I can get it out. And then I'll lightly tap her butt and tip her nose. And the slightest little try, I will take all pressure off. So here I gotta go on this side, and you can see her step forward on the side I'm trying to go on and block me with her neck. So I'm just gonna keep tapping the side of her neck until she moves her shoulder. When she moves her shoulder off of me, I will stop. You can see here I'm just standing here, and she's just kind of charging on top of me a little bit. Not quickly, but enough to get my attention, so I just back her up. So here I go to yield her hindquarters, and I'm just trying to rub all over her first. She's moving without me asking there, so I just keep rubbing. Rubbing all up and down her legs, under her stomach, everywhere. Now I'm tapping and asking. And she moved, so I stop. Again, I'm going to rub and then ask again. And I'm going to start getting a little picky here in a little bit about me asking and then her going forward and putting her shoulder on me. Start correcting those things now. See how she's going forward there to try to go behind me. I'm just going to ask her to back up and go back and rub her and ask her to move her hindquarters again. And that was pretty good. Asking her to back up here, and I love how I go fast and she speeds up. Better than Boob already. The way I taught her to back was I just walked towards her and gave her a cue and shook the rope, and if she didn't, I jerked the rope, and if she didn't, I just whacked her on the chest. Just like Clinton. So here, I'm just going to rub all over her again. I like to rub her before I ask. I don't want her to think every time I go for her butt she needs to move. So there, she moved, but you can see her shoulder still in, pointing at me. So I'm just going to keep my arm out and keep tapping. There she did, but she came back, so I just keep tapping. There she finally took that shoulder off me. So she's just testing. She's just trying to see what can she get away with. Pushing on me is not working. Putting her hip on me is not working. Putting her shoulder and blocking me is not working. Running over the top of me is not working. So she's just trying to figure out how to get out of this. She's not misbehaving. She's not being disrespectful. Here I'm asking her to back up, and she's being a little lazy. You can see me upping my pressure and her just going her same pace. So I'm just going to keep tapping her chest until she backs up a little quicker. She does still cough here and there, but it's nothing like it was when she got here. I like to ask them to come forward directly after, just to make sure they're not afraid. Here we're doing more desensitizing, and I'm being a little bit louder about it. And so she's like, what? So I just stick with her. You will see me a few times whack her butt, and that's because my rope is really long. It's a 25-foot long rope, but I still have to have it, and you'll see why here in a little bit. So every time she kind of turns her butt in or puts her butt at me, I'm going to whack it. Right there, she kind of had it at me and wasn't really moving away. If she's going to move, that's fine. If she's going to stand, that's fine. But if she's going to move and have it at me, that's not okay. So I just keep up with her. Keep doing it. There she wants to come forward, so I just kind of jerked that rope a little bit and said, nope, you can't come on top of me. And she stood still, so I go back and flog her. And I do this side. My left arm is not my best. You can see her kind of coming at me. Again, this is her just trying to figure out, how can I get out of this? How can I get away from this? And I'm letting her know on top of me is not the right answer. If you want to move, you're welcome to go backwards or sideways, but not on top of me. So here I just decided to abandon the rest of the rope and hold on to what I needed. My left arm again, I'm sorry, it's not my best. She finally stood, so I'm going to flog her. I'm asking her to back up here. You can see me clearly wiggling the rope. She ignored, so I jerk it. And I just let her stand and think. Now I'm doing her face. You can see her coming on top of me a little bit, so I'm just asking her to back. Telling her on top of me is not the answer. She's allowed to move if she's afraid, just not towards me. So it started to hail here. So I started messing with her ears. She took her head, so I kind of pulled it back and said, look, you need to be over here. She didn't react as much, so I go to the other side. She's getting way better about those. And here I'm going to go work on picking up her feet. She's doing nicely with the fronts. Now this back one I get, but she steps away. So I just keep rubbing her leg and sticking with her. And then I ask again. And she just gives it, and she actually held it up higher than I was asking, so I leave her alone. And I go on this side. That was pretty good. Lengthen my rope a little bit. This leg she's a little stiff on. It's okay, we'll get there. But I'm going to have to do more of this because her feet need done like bad. Rub all over her. Ask her to follow with me. Here I'm asking again for her butt to be moved. But you can see her coming kind of at me a little bit again. So I'm just going to ask her to back. That was pretty good. Now see how she's going behind me? I'm just going to ask her to back up. I'm letting her know here, all I want is you to go sideways. I don't want you going forward. I don't want you like freaking out or anything. Just sideways. And you can see right there, she clearly understood what I was asking. So see right there, she started to block me, so you can see me tapping, and she's going backwards right there. She turned her butt in a little bit, so I'm just going to keep tapping. So she's turning her butt in on me. She's not going the way I'm asking, so I'm just keeping that pressure up, pointing my arm to a direction I want her to go until there. Her shoulder comes off me. Desensitizing the face here. See her... Oh, sorry. We are lunging here for the first time, asking her to kind of move off. See her there putting her butt on me? So I just keep up the pressure and give her a little whack on the butt. She's starting to understand what wool means. So along with teaching her the yielding her butt, I'm saying whoa and pulling her nose in. Right there. Just start teaching her what I'm asking. You can see here, I'm not asking her to go this way. I'm actually not asking her to move at all. So I asked her to stop. She finally stopped. And then I asked her to go off the other way, and she turned and tried to put her butt on me. So I just keep up pressure until she goes where I want. Right there, I'm asking her to back up. I find this funny right here. She has the whole round pen. She's got the whole line. She doesn't have to go in the water, and she just absolutely loves going in that puddle. I don't know how many clips I cut out of her playing in the puddle. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes out there and rolls in it. So if she wants to go through the water, that's perfectly fine. But you can see right here, there, I pulled her off her nose. She sees that opening. She sees that the round pin's not closed. So she tries to drag. So there, she went the wrong way that I asked, put her butt on me. So I pull her off her balance, ask her to back up, and then I send her off. And spank her on the butt a little bit there. Here she's dragging through, so I really have to brace and pull her off. I am saying whoa every single time I'm asking her to stop. So here I'm actually desensitizing her. And I know I should have shortened up my rope. I just didn't think about it. In this point in time, I was more worried about my feet getting tangled. So I just keep doing this until she stops. But notice how I'm trying to keep that rope loose. So if she's pulling, I'm going to apply pressure. If she comes forward, I'm going to loosen. Again, I don't want her learning to brace. And this is going to fix bracing habits down the road. I hope. Just gonna keep up with her. I'm gonna try and bump her nose to me. There. Now I'm not gonna stop every single time she stops and stands still. She has to be able to handle it standing still too. And if I stop every single time, well then I won't know if she's gonna be able to handle it standing still. So here I'm doing in front of her face, and you can see her just like freak out and be like, what? So I pull her nose to me and back her up. Now she's kind of like, oh, you just want me to stand? Okay, I can do that. And this side, she does good. She's doing really good. Asking her to back up here, you can see me clearly giving her lots of cues to back up. And when I finally back her up, she's like, what the heck? So again, she's bracing. So I'm going to ask her to come off that pressure. There. Again, ask her. There. I want a loose line. Here, I ask her to pick up her feet. And shortly after this, the video sadly cuts out, but I did get to go behind her without her moving. And she dropped her head amazingly well when I took off the halter. So I'm sorry, it cut out. It ran out of storage. My phone was at 40%, so it would have died anyway. Practicing playing with her tail and rubbing her butt. I notice I don't have a hold of the rope here. That's because I'm not always going to have a hold of the rope. I want a farrier to be able to come out here and do her feet without having anything on her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was so long, and let me know what videos you guys want to see down below. Thanks for watching.